Hello students, welcome back to your class Human Eye and Colorful World. So this is my second lecture. In this lecture I am going to cover defects of vision, refraction through prism and as well as dispersion through the prism. So first of all let us see defects of vision. So defects of eyes. Okay, what are the defects we have? We have three main defects, that is myopia. Myopia means nearsightedness, I can say. Nearsightedness means he can see the near object but he cannot see the far object clearly. Okay, so here how the eye structure will be and how it will be affecting. Why is this happening? That is because, see, this is the normal eye. Okay, this is normal eye. Suppose the object is here, so image should form on the retina. So this is the retina. Okay, image should form on the retina. But usually the myopic eye will have, suppose if he is seeing a far object, then all the rays will be parallel to each other. That will come and converge here only. So actual retina is here, but it is converging here only. So the rays will get converged in front of the retina. So the image is formed in front of the retina. So in that case, person cannot see the object clearly. So this type of defect we'll call it as myopia. And how to correct this is by using concave lens. Concave lens when you use, instead of converging here only, so what it does, it will diverge little bit so that it can go and form on the retina. So this we have to choose a suitable power, so that exactly depends on the person how much defect he has. Based on that we have to choose the power of this lens so that it will exactly form on the retina, so the person can see the object clearly. So this is about myopia. So why is this caused? That is because of excessive curvature. Excessive curvature means the radius of curvature is too large in that case, and elongated eyeball. Elongated eyeball when you have, you may have this problem. So this is about myopia. Next comes hypermetropia. Okay, hypermetropia. So this is called as farsightedness. Farsightedness means far object he can see clearly, but near object he cannot see clearly. So in this what happens? So here I have not shown the normal eye. So anyway, normal eye means it should form like this. But in the farsightedness what happens? When he see a far object, he can see clearly. That is not a problem. Whenever the object is near to eye, what happens? The rays will converge beyond the retina. So behind the retina it will converge. So that time the image is formed at this point. So it is formed behind the retina. So he cannot see the object clearly. So what it should do? We have to bring it forward. So how to bring it forward? By using convex lens here. So convex lens is a converging lens. So instead of converging here, if you use one convex lens here, it will converge before only, okay, and the image will be formed on the retina. So that is how we can correct the defect of hypermetropia. Okay, this is called as hypermetropia. Myopia is nearsightedness, he cannot see far object properly. Hypermetropia is farsightedness, he cannot see near object clearly. So whenever he wants to read any book, so he has to keep it little far away so that he can see clearly. If he keeps near point, that is 25 centimeter what we say, he may not be able to read clearly. So that time if you use a convex lens, he can see clearly. So next one more, what is the cause of this here is the focal length is too small, too large. Focal length is too large means, so focal length means that the distance between this lens midpoint and this point. If it is too large, then obviously the rays will meet beyond the retina. So if it is more than that of the size of the eye, then it will form behind the retina. So that is one cause. Another one is eyeball is too small. So some people will have very small eyeball. It is not that the eyes you are seeing, the inside part. So this ball size will be very less. So in such case they may suffer with a defect called hypermetropia. Next one more is presbyopia. Presbyopia is usually found in aged people. So as people becomes aged, what happens? The power of accommodation will reduce. It will reduce its ability, and it cannot focus the objects properly, whether it is near object or far object. We have already spoken about power of accommodation in last class. Power of accommodation is ability of an eye to focus the objects correctly, whether it is nearby or far away. So we can see the near object as well as far objects clearly only because of power of accommodation. That is the ability to adjust the focal length of the eye. Correct now? So that ability will be reduced as the person becomes aged. Okay, that time what happens? he cannot see the objects clearly. So this type of defect we will call it as presbyopia. So I have written here the power of accommodation of eye is usually decreases. So this is actually called as defect called presbyopia. So here this is a combination of both myopia and hypermetropia. In such cases they use both concave and convex lens. I think if you have seen aged people's lens, so to see far objects, I am just drawing a rough diagram. So when they see far objects, they will see from here, this point. When they see near object, they will see from here. So this is concave lens to see the far object. So here concave lens, and convex lens will be designed here for a reading glass. Okay. So this is a design. Okay, it may be round shape or this shape, whatever is going to be the shape, but you will have like this. So this is the specs used for people who are having presbyopia. Okay. So this is all about defects of vision. Next we will see refraction through the prism. Okay, refraction through prism. I think you all have seen prism in your school laboratory or college laboratory. Okay, so prism is a surface with rectangular base and four triangular surfaces, in which two are actually refracting surfaces. Okay, so here this is called as angle of prism A. Okay, this is called the base of the prism. Here if I take any ray passing like this. Okay, so let me write this: refraction through prism. So whenever light ray is incident like this, so here you can see there will be a normal. So this is anyway air medium. This is also air medium. But prism, let us say it is a glass prism made of glass. Okay. So this is the normal to this surface. So here the angle is 90 degree here. Okay. That is the understanding by saying it is normal. Similarly here also we have a normal. So this ray will get refracted and goes like this. Actual path is like this. Actual path of the light is like this, but it gets deviated and moves away from the normal. Yes or no? Towards the normal, sorry. It moves towards the normal. Let us take this angle as angle of incidence. Angle of incidence here is angle between the normal and incident ray. So let me name this incident ray PQ. Okay, let me call this as R, and after here, so it will move like this. Okay, this is called as emergent ray, RS. Let us take it as S. Okay, this angle let me call it as R1, and if we extend it back, this normal. Okay, this is R2, that is angle between the normal and refracted ray. Okay, so this is called as angle of emergence. Angle of emergence, E. Angle of emergence. So suppose if you just retrace this path backward, the angle formed here we will call it as delta. That is called as angle of deviation. That is called as angle of deviation delta. Okay, so here what is PQ? You can say PQ is incident ray, delta is angle of deviation, angle of deviation. PQ is incident ray. Okay, QR is refracted ray. N1 and N2 are normals. Okay, I am just naming it as N1 and N2. RS is emergent ray. Emergent ray. Okay, A is angle of prism. This is angle of prism. Okay, so this is all about refraction through a prism. But Isaac Newton, what he did, he passed white light through the prism and he found that 7 colors are coming out from this. This is called as dispersion of light. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Let me go to next concept. That is dispersion through prism. Dispersion through prism. Okay, so let us take a prism. Okay, whenever I pass a white light, okay, it refracts and there will be 7 colors coming here. Okay, I have done a rough diagram here. Okay, so I have just used this lines only, you can think it as a colors, but actually it is a band of colors. So here you can take Virgaya, VIGYOR. So another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. One more line. 7. Yeah, 7 lines are there. Okay. So here V is violet, indigo, blue, green, okay, yellow, orange, red. So red is top here and blue is, so usually violet and indigo are not that much visible for us. We'll take blue as lowest line. Okay, violet and indigo are not that much visible for us. Okay, so blue is having, okay, more wavelength, less wavelength. Okay, more frequency, less wavelength. Red is having more wavelength, so that red deviates least when compared to blue. So that is the reason why it happens. Okay, Isaac Newton also took one another experiment. He passed light through prism. So we got it as 7 colors, band of 7 colors. Okay. So what he did is he kept another prism in the opposite direction. Okay, so in the reverse direction. So what happens? All these 7 colors will enter. All these 7 colors will enter, and white lights comes out. Okay, white lights comes out. So then he concludes that so it's a reverse process. Whenever light enters a prism, it will become 7 different colors. Whenever we send 7 different colors into the prism, a band of colors, then it will come out as a white light. So this band of colors we'll call it as spectrum, and the phenomena of dividing into 7 different colors we'll call it as dispersion. Okay, these definitions you have to remember, what is dispersion and what is spectrum. Okay, so this is all about today's class. So today I have covered the defects of eyes, refraction through prism, and also dispersion through prism. So I hope you have understood this concept. Okay, thank you. That's all guys. Thank you.